What I wanted to show everybody is I kind of got tired of manually checking the Microsoft security vulnerability updates as well as CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities as well. It's a lot to parse through, and Rewst actually kind of worked well for that. So I'm going to pull this workflow, and I got my hand slapped enough. I started doing almost everything in self workflows. I had some weird issues before, so this helps resolve them, make sure I don't overrun context. And if we look here, what we have first is getting the latest Microsoft CVRF from their API for their security updates. From there, we want to make sure that we get the most recent one. The first one we do is get this month's value as well as the current year. We check to see if one is present for the month dash or year dash month name. If that doesn't exist, we want to get last month's update because we know one hasn't been published yet. From there, shortly after that, we go ahead and parse out the current update like we would. Grab the release notes in HTML so I can put it in a pretty app platform table. I'm not going to be showing that off because it's not ready yet. From there, we get the Windows product IDs as well as the critical vulnerabilities that we define. So this can be, I did 6.0 for this particular demo, usually leave it at, I think, 7.8. From there, afterwards, we parse through everything and do deduplication to make sure that we get only unique CVE values, just because the for loop was a little broken there. And then, hold on, I'm going to make this top bar disappear. Bye-bye. And then from there, we go into CISA's known exploited vulnerability. Same thing, we want to get our time values correctly and make sure that we can get things within the last 30 days. From there, we send a request out to CISA's known exploited vulnerability feed, and then we parse it down to check for our 30 days. Afterwards, from there, we come back to this overview of the workflow, and at the very bottom, we match the CVE IDs from both platforms and get our information. The next step for this is actually going to be making sure that we can grab those KB article IDs and implement them into our scripts for automated patching for whenever like Datto or Synchro or any other RMM tool fails in that process. So that way I don't have to go through and be like, oh my gosh, there's a 9.8 vulnerability. I have to deal with this at 7 in the morning because someone got hacked from it. So that's all I got to show for this particular workflow. But much like my last demo, I do try and focus on what security implementations I can make easier using the platform since we have so many cool tools.